So let's start with just kind of taking a deep breath as we're sitting on the edge of the chair. So inhale deep. And slowly exhale. And again, inhale deep. Try and make it a little bit straighter here. And exhale. Cross your arms, right arm over left. Inhale, very relaxed arms are pulling up, pulling up, pulling up, pulling up, pulling the ribs maybe a little bit with the breath. Exhale and just letting it go. Left arm over the right. And pulling the elbows up as if somebody else is lifting you and lifting you and lifting you. And exhale. Something is on my screen. Let me see what it is. Broadcast. The webinar is now broadcasting to all audience. Okay, let's start again. So good morning. Go ahead and sit on the edge of the seat with your feet planted right underneath your knees. And we're going to take a cleansing breath. Allow the breath to come in. And very slowly relax the chest, relax the sternum, and allow the breath to come out. And again, through the center of your body, you inhale. Not very forceful, just really fully inhale. And then relax the throat, relax the chest, and allow it to just kind of melt through your system. Think about the body being very, very fluid. And inhale again. And when you exhale, maybe see it as a rivers of water that's streaming down into the arms, into the legs. And I know it's a metaphor, but for me, metaphors really help carry on the images and the movement and make it real for me. So we'll take right arm over left. And very passively, if somebody is actually holding my wrists and flipping them and pulling the elbows up above as I'm inhaling. And then just letting it go again, just melting, maybe like moving dry sand or maybe like rivers of water. And now the left arm over the right. Somebody is catching me in my wrist, somebody that I don't really know but I really trust. And I allow them to lift me up, and now they're pulling my ribs just so gently. Inhale up. And exhale, allowing it to slowly melt down without any effort, without any shape. We'll do the right now over again. As passive as you can think about being passive as you're moving. And exhaling down. And last breath, the left over the right. Somebody's lifting you from the wrist, flipping the elbows up. And now rest your arms over your head. Allow the right elbow to come forward and down as if you are aiming towards your left knee. But don't go there, just give the direction. See if you can get the elbow to go right over the left knee. It's not about reaching, it's about sensing how the ribs are turning, the spine is rotating and flexing. And now extend the spine, open the elbow, and allow the ribs to come back to place. And again, right elbow right over the left knee. Again, don't try to get there. It's not an exercise. Just find the rotation and the flexion with your breath. And inhale and open up. And again. Feel if your sitting bones that are on the edge of the chair are participating as your knee comes over the left knee. Are you rolling back a little bit to allow that flexion of the spine with a rotation? And now that you're paying attention also to your sitting bone, see what your eyes are doing. Are they having like an half a circle or like a spiral? Are you looking at your left elbow? And one more time. And inhale up. Allow the arms to come from the back and melt. And just take a minute, close your eyes, breathe as you're noticing your breathing ability on the right versus your ability to breathe on the left. Can you sense any changes? And we're going to go to the other side. Left over right. Flip the arms, bring them up over your head. And now we're going to aim the left elbow over the right knee. You may go just on top or you may not reach. Like the first time for me, I can't reach yet. So I'm going to soften my sternum as I'm exhaling. I may be going to allow my sitting bones to move backwards a little bit more. And see if that enables me to move more softly, maybe a little bit further, not down, but reaching towards. So I'm looking for the rotation and the flexion of my spine, the softness of my upper back, that area that between the shoulder blades that usually stays without any movement. I exhale as I'm aiming above the knee, and I'm inhaling as I'm opening up. I'm exhaling, I'm softening, I'm relaxing, I'm noticing what my eyes are doing. Maybe they are helping by going towards my right elbow, increasing the spiral. And one more time. Inhaling to the center, bringing the arms behind your head, into the shoulders, and just be. Allow the breath to come in, filling your lungs. Visualize your lungs all the way from your second rib down the two sides of your chest and all the way down to your diaphragm, to where the ribs are floating. And again, just inhale gently. And exhale gently. So most of the classes we work on the pelvis and we come to softening the chest from actually initiating from the pelvis. So let's do this for a minute and see how that feels. So I'm rolling my sitting bones backwards, which creates a C shape in my pelvis and my lower back. And if I'm continuing it all the way to my upper back and my head, my eyes will meet my belly button. and inhaling up. If you need to push your hands on your legs to lift yourself, go ahead and do so. And again, on the exhale, I'm actually taking my pelvis, my ilium, these bones right here, and I'm guiding them backwards, and I'm rolling on my sitting bones back, and that rounds my back. This is a place where most of us sit a lot. The cars are designed for us to sit this way. Comfortable chairs designed for us to sit this way. But notice how everything is crunch. So let's come back up. And we're going to go back again, but this time, instead of crunching down, we're going to keep it up, and we're going to keep it hollow, and we're going to make a huge C shape. And we're going to come back up. So we're going backwards, not down. Backwards and not down. Now go ahead and glide your hands underneath your kneecap. And now we're going to go back, and it's going to pull us a little bit higher to the area right here. So exhale and pull back. Anchor your fingers underneath the kneecap and pull yourself up. Really, really pull until you get to an erect spine, whatever that means to you. And again, pulling by not moving the fingers from the knee, pulling in the center of the back, and back up. And on exhale, going back. On inhale, going back up. You can speed it up, or you can even slow it down more, whichever feels good to your system. I'm trying to get away from telling you exactly what to do, how to do, what speed to do, but for you to find what works for you, what opens your body up, what makes it feel more whole. So I'm just giving the pathway, but you find the flowers, the weeds, the trees, the rocks, the river, and so on and so forth. Okay, now we're going to take the left hand on the knee and the right hand on the left. So now again we're having that rotation, and we're going to go back, allowing the head and the eyes to go back, and pulling up, and exhaling, pulling back just as much as feels good, and up. So we're working in a diagonal now, rotation, and now we are flexing the spine and extending the spine. And if you notice, my hands don't move from underneath the patella, the kneecap, and pulling back, and up, and pulling back, and up. Bringing my right hand to my right leg and my left hand over the right. Now I have the rotation to the other direction. I'm pulling back on exhale. I'm giving myself control with my fingers underneath the patella, and I'm pulling up on inhale. And again, you can do it halfway if it hurts, if you meet some rust in the back of your ilium, in the connection between the sacrum. Just kind of explore the area. And see if your upper chest is responding to the movement of your hip and if it's the same amount. See if you can bring your upper chest to do the same size movement as your lower body does. Your lower back, I mean, your hip. And exhale. And inhale. And come to the center. Turn your fingers 45 degrees inwards and your elbows out, and lean with the spine as if it's falling between your shoulder blades. Let it fall and bring it back up. I'm going to turn to the side so you see that there is absolutely almost no movement. I'm sinking my spine and I'm bringing it back. I'm sinking my spine and I'm bringing it back. Allow the spine to sink forward between the shoulder blades, so the shoulders are going backwards. And lift the spine back to where it is. It's a tiny, tiny little movement. Exhale and allow the spine to drop forward. See if your eyes are going up a little bit, looking at the horizon, like a baby doing this, or like a sphinx. And lift the spine back to your normal. And on exhale, drop the spine just to where it's comfortable. See if your elbows are widening. See if your eyes, your gaze is going up a little bit to the horizon. See if you can feel a little bit of an extension in the back of your neck. How many things can you be aware that's happening as you're dropping the spine forward? Is your tailbone coming a little bit further out and your head comes a little bit up? Are you extending both ends of your spine? And push with your hands on your legs, come back up and relax by rounding your back. Notice how your head and your hip are now coming forward towards one another. And we're going to go back up and in, dropping the spine, and notice how your head and your tail are coming towards one another just a little bit. And push with your hands on your thighs and round your back and relax, and notice how your pelvis and your head are reaching towards one another in the front. And inhale up and allow the spine to reach forward between your shoulder blades. And again, notice how your tail is coming backwards and your eyes are coming up, and they're kind of reaching towards one another. If you know a little bit from yoga, it will be the cat and the cow, the cat and the cow. So this is what we're doing here. And come to the center and rest. Take a deep breath. See how comfortable it is to fill yourself up and to let it go. Inhale. Last time, inhale. Cool. And we're going to the feet. Pa-pam, 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 pa-pam. Lifting only the heels. Pa-pam, 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 pa-pam. Center. Pa-pam, 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 pa-pam. Again. Pa-pam, 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 pa-pam. So we're on the edge of the chair. Bring your right foot and start see if you can dangle it. Get it real free. Kind of like, how free can you get the ankle and the wrist to be? Okay, left leg. Dangle, 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 dangle. Let it go. Sometimes it helps if you do it with the tongue. One leg is not as good as the other, of course. Okay, lift your right foot. Bring your toes up, bring your toes down, bring your toes up and down. If you need to hold on with the legs, go ahead. If you don't, don't. And let's do the left leg. Lift the foot, toes up, toes down, toes up, toes down, toes up, toes down, toes up, toes down, toes up, and relax. If you need to bring the leg up by straightening the leg and dragging, go ahead and do so. Bring the leg up to the knee if possible. And we are going to bring the knee. Remember we started with the elbow going over the knee? Now we're going to bring the knee to the opposite shoulder. Again, we have that spiral rotation with flexion. So the shoulder and the knee are meeting halfway. So look for a second. I can maybe force my pelvis to move so much and my knee to come up to my shoulder and get a wonderful stretch here. That's not what we're doing today. Today we're looking at the flexion of the spine as it's rotating, and for the upper back and the lower back to move as equally as possible. So my shoulder and my ribs and my chest are moving towards the hip as the hip is moving towards the shoulder. Maybe you can help with the arms. Maybe you can take this hand, the left hand, bring it underneath, catch at the wrist, and then really work with the shoulder and the ribs to facilitate that movement. If it's not forced, so as I'm exhaling, see if your head and your eyes can spiral as well. Let me move the chair so you can see what my hands are doing. I'm underneath this leg and I'm guiding. As my knee comes up, my shoulder and my ribs are coming towards. And it really is not important how far. So the knee comes up, the hip rotates, and the upper back is coming towards. And now we're going to change sides. So you may start with a straight leg and glide up, and the knee comes towards the shoulder. This knee, the left knee, will come towards the right shoulder, and the right shoulder will come to the knee. And again, can I exhale and soften my chest enough to reach? And I feel that my hand staying out here actually limits me, so I like to bring it underneath and to help and open up, and exhale and help and open up, and exhale and rotate and up. And one more rotation like this, and release. Another possibility is to do the same rotation with the knee and the hip, but instead of allowing the head to go with the movement, is to actually bring the head in opposite. So now I'm looking at this foot. And release. And change side, lift the left leg over the right, bring the right hand inward, and as my left knee comes towards my right shoulder, my head goes towards my left foot. And I feel like a pretzel. And release. And lower your legs. Sitting on the edge, we're going to circle, we're going to go to the right sitting bones, we're going to go behind, going to the left, and going forward. So I'm making a circle. The image that comes to mind is like a big soup, winter soup, and I'm stirring, trying to get all the good stuff from the edges, the inside edges of the hip bone. And as I'm going around, I may even scrape some good stuff from the inside of my ribs. And around the spinal column, each vertebra, maybe there's a lot of good stuff there to fall into the soup. And change direction. Can your circle be complete? Really getting to the bones, your bones, not mine. Inside. Deep, deep, deep. You can slow it down as slow as you need to really reach. And once you come to the center, come back to sitting on your sitting bones. Pa-pum, 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 pa-pum. Pa-pum, 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 pa-pum. Turn your palms upwards, and if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. And put your attention into the center of your palm. And just get more and more sensitive to the sensation in the center of your palms. Maybe even the tips of your fingers. Can you feel your fingers one by one? Starting from the little finger to the fourth one, to the middle one, to the pointy one, to the thumb, and now that your body is a little bit more relaxed, go ahead and open your eyes. Bring your hands to the center of your chest with the thumb touching your sternum. And take a moment to be filled with gratitude to the things in your life that are working, that are supporting you. And I thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next week.